guys, it's your girl Chrissy and I'm back with another vlog. Okay, so I'm late again, but I'm a day late, but it's okay, we're gonna rock out. But this vlog is gonna be about when I went to my first Chris Brown concert. So if you know me, like, you know that I am in love with Chris Brown. I've been a Chris Brown fan for 13 years. Like, I tell my mom, my parents, like, that's their son-in-law, we're married, and they're gonna have to accept it. Like, that's how fiend out I am for Chris Brown. Like, that is my husband. Like, it's really been a while since I like Chris Brown. Like, I get excited, like, when I hear his music. I get excited when people talk about him. Like, I just love Chris Brown. Like, I think when I first started liking him, I was 8 years old, and I'm 21 now. So it's like, I follow him. I know everything about him. I know his birthday. I know everything there is to know about Chris Brown. And do not talk negative about Chris Brown, because once you do, we're going in the full-fledged argument, and I promise you I'm winning. So that's how serious I am about Chris Brown. Like, but anyway, so my whole family knows this. Like, I be like, Dad, like, Chris Brown is your son-in-law. I be telling my mom, they be getting tight, but it is what it is. Accept it. But anyway, so with that being said, like, my family knows, like, how, like, much I am, like, of a Chris Brown fan. Like, so what year was this? It's so crazy. I was turning 18 at the time, basically, and I've always wanted to go to, like, one of his concerts, but, like, at the time when he was touring, like, I was too young or whatever, I guess, to attend in my parents' eyes, because, Chris Brown is Chris Brown. He's sexy as hell. But yeah, so I guess I was like too young to attend. So, like, when I was turning 18, like, I was like, I really, really, like, I always wanted to go to, like, his concerts, one of his concerts. So I found out about the Between the Sheets tour, right? And I told you guys, like, I live in New York, so I live in Long Island, so I had heard that him and Trey Songz were gonna be at the Barclays Center. They was gonna be at the Barclays Center or whatever, in Brooklyn. That's right, in Brooklyn. I'm right there. And the thing is, like, my dad lives, like, in Brooklyn, so it was like, that's just, like, I could get there in no time. So my birthday was coming up, so I was telling my mom is, I told you guys, like, my mom is, like, an evangelist, and she's, like, really into church. So, like, she's not really into, like, R&B. I mean, she listens to it, don't get me wrong, but she's not, like, into, music or whatever, like, into R&B music like that or whatever. So she don't understand, like, how much I was fiending, like, to go, like, to his concert or whatever. So I kept asking my mom, like, Mom, can you please give me these tickets or whatever? But she don't really take me serious when it comes to that, whatever. So then, like, my dad knows how much I love Chris Brown. And I was begging my dad, like, Dad, because my dad is, like, more like me. Like, he's more like me. So he understands or whatever. And he's, like, still young in mind or whatever. I mean, he's young, but, you know what I mean? Like, he's more down to earth, like, when it comes to me or whatever. So I was begging my dad, like, for dumb long. Like, I was like, Dad, please, like, please, I need these concert tickets. I was looking them up for him, like, where he could get them cheaper or whatever. And he was like, okay, yeah, like, I'll look for it or whatever. Like, I'll look and see if I could get them, and if I get them, then we can go. So time is going by, and, like, if you know Chris Brown, like, once his stuff go on sale, you better get it that day, because if you don't, then it's like you're missing out. Like, that's it. Like, his stuff sells out so fast. Like, so I'm asking my dad, I'm like, Dad, like, did you look at these prices? Like, what's going on? He's like, yeah, like, I'll get to it or whatever. So I'm like, oh my God. So, like, I think, like, a month or two went by, and I'm like, Dad, like, are we going or what? Like, are you getting these tickets, or are you just selling me a dream here? Like, and he was like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm still looking or whatever. So, at this point, like, I'm sending him mad, like, posts where he could get it for cheaper. I'm sending him this, and I'm sending him that, like, from everywhere. Like, any ticket place that you could get these tickets for cheap, like, I was sending it to him, like. So, and like at the time, like I wanted to buy it myself. I was gonna buy 2 tickets just for me and my dad to go. But I had like a little like rinky dink job that wasn't paying that much for me to even like buy tickets or whatever, to go. So I'm like, oh my God, Dad, like you're really, I was like giving up at that point, like really, like you're not taking it seriously or whatever. So like I remember I went to my grandmother's house and my dad was there, and I was asking him like, Dad, like what's happening, like what's going on, like are you gonna get them, are you not? And he's still giving me the same, we'll see. Like, so at that point, like, I had pretty much gave up, I was like, you know what, we're not going. It is what it is. And I gave up. I was sad about it because I really, really, really wanted to see Chris Brown. Like, that is just, like, that was my dream, like, just to go to his concert. So, yeah, so my birthday had came. Mind you, like the concert ended up being after the fact or whatever, like after my birthday, like a little bit after it or whatever. So yeah, so my birthday had came and gone. I think it was like 2 days after my birthday, and my dad had called me, and he had asked me what I was doing or whatever. So I was like, I'm in my house, I'm chilling. It was like 2 days after my birthday. It's like I was like, I'm in my house, I'm chilling. I'm not really doing much anything because I really wasn't. So he's like, okay, me and your uncle is gonna come by or whatever because we didn't get to see you on your birthday or whatnot. So I'm gonna come spend some time with you. So I was like, okay, no problem. At the time I was at my old house or whatever. So my dad comes, and I'm like, oh, like I'm always excited to see my dad. Like I told y'all, like in previous vlogs, like I really, really love my dad. Like I'm a daddy's girl, so like when he comes, I get excited or whatever. So I was happy to see him and stuff. I was like, oh hi dad, da da da. He comes or whatever. So we're talking, like him and my uncle come in my room or whatever. We're talking, laughing like always. Like they're really funny or whatever. So we were talking, and then he goes, hold on for 1 second. So he comes him and my uncle is helping him or whatever. He comes back inside, and I see him with this big old box, like this big box. So I'm like, what's going on? So my dad brings the box in the room, and I see it's a big flat screen TV, and I'm like, oh my God, like, cause this is my first time having yes, I was 18, and that was my first flat screen TV. Like I never had a flat screen TV before, so I was excited. So I was like, oh my God, like you got me a TV, like oh my God, because my TV, the one I had in my room, was trash. It was like the dinosaur TVs, like it was like the old school TVs where it had the buttons on it still or whatever. It had the big behind backs. Like my brothers used to make fun of me. Like my brother used to make fun of me about it, like because I had the dinosaur TV. So I was like, oh my God, like I got a new TV, it's lit, da da da. So I'm going crazy over it or whatever. So I open it or whatever. So my dad's like, you like it? I'm like, yeah, and it's big or whatever. So he gives me these papers. And he's like, all right. He was like, I know how you are or whatever. Just in case you break this TV, like, I'm going to need you to read this warranty or whatever. He's like, I'm going to need you to read the warranty because if you do something to it, then, you know what to do. You can get a new one replaced. So I look at it. I'm like, okay. And I put it down on the bed. Like, it's whatever. Like, I just throw them on the bed. I was like, it's whatever. So then he starts breaking on me like, Crystal, pick the papers up and read them. Read them. Read it. Like, I was like, okay, like why are you yelling at me because of this warranty paper? Like, all right, like I'm not gonna break a whole TV. Like, so he's like, pick the paper up and read it, Crystal. So I took the paper. I'm like, okay, and I'm fake reading it at this point because I just want to get it over with. So I'm like, da da da, like acting like I'm reading it, and I push them to the side again. I'm like, what are you doing? Like, I'm like, okay, like I read it, like okay. So he's like, Crystal, he's like, you didn't read it. So I'm like, yeah, I did. He's like, Crystal, you did not read it. So I'm like, all right. So I picked the 2 pieces of papers back up, and I read it for real this time. And on the top of it said Chris Brown and Trey Songz Between the Sheets tour. And I was like, and then I looked at them, and then I was like, nah. Like, I thought that my mind was tricking me. Like, I was just like, yo, really? Like, I was just looking like, oh my God, like, for real?
Oh my God. It's okay.
Oh my gosh, that's
So stupid.
I was like, why y'all screaming at me with the TV? Oh my gosh. Oh my god, Dad. Oh my gosh. You got it. Oh my god, I thought I wasn't gonna go.
I wanted to go to a Chris Brown concert. That's really crazy. I feel like crying now. Like, like I really wanted to go to this concert. Like, and he really got them. Like, I just was in shock because, like, if you know me, like, nobody takes me serious when I talk about Chris Brown. Like, nobody takes me serious. They be like, yeah, Crystal, da. Like, but I be dead serious when I talk about him. Like, yo, I want to, like, see him in concert. I want to meet this, like, I really want to meet him. Like, I really was, like, in shock. And I was so, like, till this day, like, that was the best birthday. I know I just turned 21, but my 18th birthday was the best birthday and the birthday I, like, will never forget. And that's why I love my dad so much, because, like, he knows me, and it's just like he does whatever he can to make me happy. Like, when he can do it, he does. Like, and I appreciate my dad for that. So wait, let me tell y'all the problem that happened though. So it was the day before the concert, and I had planned to spend the night at my grandmother's house, because my grandmother lives in Brooklyn or whatever. So does my dad. So I spent the night there so we wouldn't be late. I was timing my dad, like, we gotta, because he's usually slow, like, with everything. He's late to everything. Like, my dad is hours late to everything. Like, if you want him for an event, you have to tell him the wrong time so he can be on time, honestly. But yeah, so, like, the day before I was there and I was chilling, I was excited and I couldn't wait to go. And then the story happened. I don't know if you guys remember, but Chris Brown was just had recently got out of jail, I think, and he was still on probation, or either he just got out of jail or he was on probation, you know, for, you know, whatever reason or whatever. So, like, so he was on probation. So, like, I saw on social media, my dad had sent me, like, that Chris Brown had got in some type of trouble with the you know, with violating probation or whatever, and then, like, the tour ended up, like, getting canceled. And I was just like, my dad sent it to me. At first I thought it was, like, a joke or whatever, and then, like, my friend had sent it to me or whatever, and I was like, yo, are you serious? Like, are you serious? Like, that had to happen? Like, really? And of course, like, I started crying because I really wanted to see Chris Brown. And then, like, I checked his Instagram to make sure that it was true, and it was true. And then, like, I seen people in his comments, like, going ham on him or whatever. And I was so mad at, like, the judge. Like, you would do that. Like, I feel like Chris Brown has so many haters. Like, I feel like, you know, people judge, like, at the time, people was, like, misjudging him, you know what I'm saying? So, like, I was, like, more mad at the judge, like, you are so, like, you're such a hater or whatever, like, you don't want to see him succeed, you don't want to see him be great, basically. And I cried, but then, like, a couple of days later, like, my dad sent me another thing, and he was like, the concert, like, I seen a post that they put up, and it was like, the concert's back on or whatever. So we had to do this all over again. I had to spend the night again at my grandmother's house, like, when it was time or whatever. And I was excited. So when we went there, oh my god, yo, like, when he first came out, my dad, like, recorded my reaction, and when he came out, I was just like, oh my god, like, oh my god. Like, I didn't know what to do, like, when I seen him. Like, it was just like the greatest moment of my life. Like, I was just like, oh my god, like, that's him. I kept saying, Dad, that's him, whatever. And it's like, he was recording me. It was just, like, great or whatever. So then he come out all swaggy, like, Harlem in the building, Bronx in the building, Queens in the building, is Brooklyn in the building. And it was just like, I was just like, oh my god, like, I could not get enough. Like, my dad was, like, recording me, like, the whole time, because that's how crazy I was going. And then, like,
I will blame you for what they say about me.
oh my
myself, I was fast asleep. Since you came around after Harlem in the building, Bronx in the building, Queens in the building, Long Island in the building. It's Brooklyn in the
My dad was like recording me like the whole time because that's how crazy I was going. And then like Chris Brown and Trey Songz, like no shade, Trey Songz, like I like you too, but like when it was your turn, like when it was Trey Songz' turn to like sing, I would get sad. Like, all right, like bring Chris Brown like back on the stage or whatever. I'd be like, oh my god, and like my dad was getting tight. Because every time he would leave, I'd be like, Chris Brown is so fun. And my dad was like, all right, Crystal, like, all right, that's enough. Like, he was getting tight. And it was one point, like, of the concert where, now I done told my dad to listen to his songs and his album so he could know the words and stuff. And he ain't do it. So you know what happened? He had, was recording, like, I think, what was he singing? It was No Bullshit. That's what he was singing. And what was the part? I think thinking about the problems is, and baby when I get it was that part. Gonna take it slow. And he was recording us and I'm singing the words and I'm bopping and vibing. He turns the camera on himself and he's singing the wrong words. I'm like and I didn't notice it until after the fact. Like I say, like 2 weeks later, I was watching the videos, and I'm like, Dad, I sent this to my dad. I said, Dad, look at yourself. Like, you're singing the wrong words. Like, he was really singing the wrong words, and it was like, I still laugh at him till this day about it. Like, I don't know. But yeah, so like that was my experience with Chris, like going to my Chris Brown concert. I would love to go to another one. I'm like waiting for him like to go on a Heartbreak on a Full Moon tour, come right back to Brooklyn. We're gonna sell it out again, and this time I could buy my own tickets. Like I'm all grown up now, I can buy my own tickets. This time, like the first time that I went to your concert, Chris Brown, I didn't get the meet and greet because it sold. My dad said it sold out like that. He was gonna get it for me, but Team Breezy, well, I am Team Breezy, but he not. Team Breezy took it soon as it got on sale. So the next time you go on tour, you better believe I'm getting those meet and greet tickets. I don't care what nobody says. I don't care. I'm meeting Chris Brown. Like, I don't care what nobody say. My friends always be like, oh, he don't know who you are. He don't even know your name. Like, they always making fun of me. But I mark my words, Chrissy Chanel will know, Chris Brown will know Chrissy Chanel's name. Trust me. Trust me. Mark my words. It's gonna happen. Either I'm gonna meet him or I'm gonna do something that he's gonna remember me by. Mark my words. But yeah. That was my whole full rant about Chris Brown. You know what I noticed? My first Storytime video, I was wearing this jacket. This is Storytime jacket video. But yeah, that was my whole rant or whatever about Chris Brown. Now y'all know how much I love Chris Brown. And yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe to my channel if you love me. And I will see you guys. Chrissy out.